สอบ TOEIC พูดและเขียน
Techniques for taking TOEIC Speaking and Writing Test
ให้เสียงโดยอาจารย์ดร.ธนพล ลำดวนจาดใจดีและ
อาจารย์มาร์คกาย
การอัดเสียงนี้ในช่วงแรกจะอัดเฉพาะบางหน้าก่อนจากนั้นจึงจะอัดบทหรือสคริปต์สำหรับบันทึกเสียงในหน้าที่143ถึง154ขอให้ท่านผู้อ่านตั้งใจฟังให้ดีต่อไปเปิดหน้าที่15อ่านออกเสียงดังๆ
Question 1 Read a text aloud Directions In this part of the test, you will read aloud the text on the screen. You will have 45 seconds to prepare. Then you will have 45 seconds to read the text aloud. Question 1 of 11. The Easy Feet Foot Brush and Massager cleans and massages your feet from heel to toe in just 1 minute without bending or reaching. It has over 1,000 gentle scrubbing bristles to exfoliate, remove dirt, and rejuvenate tired feet. Plus, there's a built-in pumice stone to smooth and soothe rough, cracked heels. It secures tightly and easily to shower or tub surface with strong suction cup mounts. Simply move your foot forward and back to clean arch, heel, sides, and top of foot and between toes all at once. One size fits all.
ต่อไปให้ท่านผู้อ่านเปิดที่หน้า16
Question 2. Read a text aloud. Directions. In this part of the test, you will read aloud the text on the screen.You will have 45 seconds to prepare. Then you will have 45 seconds to read the text aloud. Question 2 of 11. All employees will assemble in the auditorium at 1400 hours to hear an address by the CEO, William Warwick. Mr. Warwick will present his view of the direction of the company in the coming year in view of the conditions in our industry.and in the economy generally. During the past month, Mr. Warwick has attended a meeting of all CEOs of the companies which are owned by our parent corporation, a conference sponsored by the industry-wide organization, and a symposium on the economy conducted by the chairman of the Federal Reserve Board. He will share his insights with you.
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่20
Question 3. Describe a picture. Directions. In this part of the test, you will describe the picture on the screen in as much detail as you can. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response. Then you will have 45 seconds to speak about the picture.
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่21นี้คือตัวอย่างคำตอบในคำถามข้อที่3
Here is a sample response. 4 women are seated at a table in what looks like a restaurant. There are 4 bowls of food on the table. Each woman has a square plate in front of her, a smaller plate with some kind of small cup on it, and a larger cup of what might be coffee or tea. In the background is what seems to be a window.Looking out at some trees.
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่23
Questions 4 to 6. Respond to questions. Directions. In this part of the test, you will answer 3 questions. For each question, begin responding immediately after you hear a beep. No preparation time is provided.You will have 15 seconds to respond to questions 4 and 5, and 30 seconds to respond to question 6. Questions 4 of 11. Imagine that an Australian tourist agency is planning to offer guided tours of Thailand. You have agreed to respond to a telephone interview about tourist attractions.What is the most important historical site in Thailand?
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่ 24
Question 5 of 11. Why do you think that historical site is most important? Question 6 of 11. What is one of the most interesting features of the historical site?
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่ 28
Question 7. Listen to the question. My name is Henry Ozaka. I can't find my program for the new employee orientation. Where do we meet? Question 8. Listen to the question. And what time does the orientation start?
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่ 29
Question 9. Listen to the question. Will we have time for lunch?
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่ 33 บทพูดของคำถามที่
Transcript. Hi, my name's Peter Yamamoto. I was looking through your online catalogue the day before yesterday and saw a pair of shoes that I really liked. So I clicked on the picture and got your cart and ordered the shoes. I gave my debit card number and everything. But before I got through, my computer lost power, so I wasn't sure that I had really placed the order. So I took the computer to the repair guy and went to an internet cafe and got on your website and ordered the shoes again. Today I got my computer back and looked at my bank account, and I see that the money for the shoes was deducted twice. And then I looked at my email, and I see that I've got 2 confirmation emails from your store thanking me for my order. Is there any way I can get one of those 2 orders cancelled and the money put back in my account? They're nice shoes, but really I don't need 2 pairs of them, and I could use the money.
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่ 36
Question 11. Express an opinion. Directions. In this part of the test, you will give your opinion about a specific topic. Be sure to say as much as you can in the time allowed. You will have 15 seconds to prepare. Then you will have 60 seconds to speak.
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่ 37
Question 11 of 11. You have 2 job offers. One is from a large company that has been in business for many years. There was only 1 position open, and it was offered to you. The salary is higher than you expected. The other is from a small company that has been in business for 3 years. There were 6 positions open, and you were offered one of them. The salary is about 2/3 the amount of the first offer. Which one would you accept, and why?
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่ 64
Words of 1 syllable.
คำที่มีพยางค์เดียว
1. Chair. 2. Shoe. 3. Day. 4. Blue. 5. Grass. 6. Laugh. 7. Rice. 8. Say. 9. True. 10. Word. Words of 2 syllables.
คำที่มี2 พยางค์
1. Able. 2. Baker. 3. Candle. 4. Distant. 5. Eagle. 6. Fortune. 7. Going. 8. Happy. 9. Idly. 10. Jiggle. Words of 3 or more syllables.
คำที่มี3 พยางค์หรือมากกว่านี้
1. Calendar. 2. Library. 3. Manager. 4. National. 5. Operator. 6. Personal. 7. Quality. 8. Referral. 9. Statistics. 10. Telephone.
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่77
Question 1 of 11. The procedure for loading the trucks will be as follows. Truck number 1 will pull up to the loading dock. While it is being loaded, truck number 2 will pull into the loading bay and stop with the motor running. At least 3, but no more than 6 feet behind truck number 1. When truck number 1 has been loaded, it will depart on its delivery schedule, and truck number 2 will pull up to the loading dock in the position which truck number 1 had occupied. While it is being loaded, truck number 3 will pull into the space truck number 2 has just vacated. This procedure will be followed until all trucks are loaded.
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่78
Question 2 of 11. The orientation program for new employees will be held on Monday. When you arrive on Monday at 8:30, go directly to the auditorium and find a seat. The meeting will begin promptly at 9. You will hear from the President, the Vice President for Human Resources, the President for Finance, and the Chief Operations Officer. The President will welcome you to the firm. The Human Resources and Finance Vice Presidents will explain company personnel policies, and the Operations Officer will assign your responsibilities. After the meeting, you will eat lunch in the company cafeteria. After lunch, report to your assigned position by 1 p.m.
ต่อไปให้นักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่92
Sample questions and answers.
ตัวอย่างคำถามพร้อมคำตอบ
Number 1. What is your favorite fruit? My favorite fruit is mangoes because they are sweet and they aren't very hard. We have a mango tree at home, and I get impatient for them to ripen. Number 2. What kind of television shows do you like? I like television comedies because they make me laugh. Some of them are silly, but I don't mind a little silliness now and then. Number 3. Where do you like to go for your holidays? I like to go to the beach at Pattaya on my holidays because I like to swim in the ocean. There are some good restaurants in Pattaya, and I like to eat there. Number 4. Why did you choose to study English? I chose to study English because it is a world language and is often used in international businesses. In many countries, English is the second language. Number 5. Do you like the city where you live? I like Nakhon Pathom because it has the world's biggest chedi. I go to the chedi often because it is a good place to meditate. Number 6. What season do you enjoy most? The season I like best is summer because I like warm weather and I can wear light clothing. I like to be outside, and summer is a good time for that. Number 7. How do you usually spend your spare time? I like to spend my spare time talking with my friends about what is going on because I like to keep up with things. Sometimes we talk about what they are doing, and sometimes we talk about the news. Number 8. How did you come to the testing center today? I came by bus and then walked here from the bus stop because taxis are too expensive. I like to ride the bus because sometimes you can have an interesting conversation with people. Number 9. What do you think is the best way to find a job? I think the best way to find a job is to ask friends and family if they know about openings that are available. That can save time, and they may know somebody who can help. Number 10. What did you major in at university? I majored in accounting because I believe that in order to understand a business, you have to know where the money comes from and where it goes. Even if you are not going to be an accountant, that is good knowledge to have.
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดที่หน้า100แบบฝึกหัดให้ฝึกตอบข้อ4ถึงข้อ6
Questions 4 to 6. Respond to questions. Directions. In this part of the test, you will answer 3 questions. For each question, begin responding immediately after you hear a beep. No preparation time is provided. You will have 15 seconds to respond to questions 4 and 5 and 30 seconds to respond to question 6. Question 4 of 11. Imagine that an Australian marketing firm is doing research in your country. You have agreed to participate in a telephone interview about purchasing petrol for automobiles and motorcycles. Where and when do you usually buy petrol for your automobile or motorcycle? Question 5 of 11. How do you usually decide which type of petrol you will buy for your automobile or motorcycle? Question 6 of 11. How important is it to select the correct type of petrol for your automobile or motorcycle?
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่112ตัวอย่างแบบทดสอบให้ฝึกทำ
Sample test. Questions 7 to 9. Respond to questions using information provided. Directions. In this part of the test, you will answer 3 questions based on the information provided. You will have 30 seconds to read the information before the questions begin. For each question, begin responding immediately after you hear a beep. No additional preparation time is provided. You will have 15 seconds to respond to questions 7 and 8 and 30 seconds to respond to question 9. Question 7 of 11. Question 7. I've lost my program. When and where does the orientation session start?
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่113
Question 8. Would you mind telling me whether we have a break for lunch?
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่114
Question 9. I'd like a chance to see the plant. Will there be any opportunity for that?
ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดหน้าที่131
Script.
บทสำหรับคำถามข้อที่10
You advertised a mammoth sale day last Saturday, and the ad said you'd be open until 10 p.m. I had to work on Saturday, so when I got off work, I went home to get my wife. She'd already cooked dinner, so we ate it and then came right to your store. We got there just about 8:15, and you can imagine how disappointed we were to find that the store had closed at 8 o'clock. We're very unhappy about that because we need some new living room furniture, and we were hoping to get it at sale prices. ต่อไปนักศึกษาเปิดที่หน้า143 Script for CD.
บทสำหรับบันทึกเสียงลงซีดี
Track 1. Number 1. Clue. Number 2. Rice. Number 3. Veil. Number 4. Sip. Number 5. Bereave. Number 6. Lear. Number 7. They. Number 8. Whim. Number 9. Chose. Number 10. Ray. Number 11. Theme. Number 12. Vile. Number 13. Shoes. Number 14. Laughed. Number 15. Then. Number 16. Wide. Number 17. Chip. Number 18. Rare. Number 19. Through. Number 20. Chew. Track 2. Number 1. Chew. Number 2. Choose. Number 3. Jew. Number 4. Chug. Number 5. Jews. Number 6. Jug. Number 7. Lunch. Number 8. Jump. Number 9. Chump. Number 10. Lunge. Track 3. Number 1. Jews will always choose not to chew pork. Number 2. Jack's car made a sound like chug chug when he went down the ridge to buy a jug of cherry juice. Number 3. Some Jews call themselves the chosen people. Jews go to synagogues, not churches. Number 4. Judy had to lunge for the bus because she was late for lunch. Number 5. The English kings in the 17th century were James I, Charles I, Charles II, and James II. Number 6. Charles was arrested for punching the Japanese man, but he wants to get out of jail. Number 7. James and Charles aren't rich, but they aren't chumps. They will jump at the chance to go to Jamaica. Number 8. I have been to China, but I have not been to Japan or Chile. Number 9. Judges do not always judge cheerfully, but they must judge justly. Number 10. The jewelry company tried to charter a boat to carry away its junk, but the boat company charged just a little too much. Track 4. Number 1. Chair. Number 2. Shop. Number 3. Cheat. Number 4. Chip. Number 5. Sheet. Number 6. Ship. Number 7. Choose. Number 8. Shoes. Number 9. Chop. Number 10. share. Track 5. Number 1. Shirley bought a chair and a sheet in the shop, but she was cheated. Number 2. Charles and Sharon chose to share a chop in the ship's dining room. Number 3. When she came out of the picture show, she was chased into the shoe shop. Number 4. After she watched Charles chop wood into shingles, she found a chip in her shoe. Number 5. Sitting on the chair in the restaurant, she chose to chew a chop. Number 6. She went into the shop to choose a pair of shoes that showed her toes. Number 7. She chose a sheet that showed a picture of a Chinese ship. Number 8. Charles offered to share a sheet of paper with Shirley, but he cheated her. Number 9. She carried a sheet of paper with the answers on into the examination room. That is called a cheat sheet. Number 10. Charles discovered a shop where cars were cut apart and put together again. That is called a chop shop. Track 6. Number 1. Dough. Number 2. Though. Number 3. Dare. Number 4. Den. Number 5. Day. Number 6. Then. Number 7. There. Number 8. Dale. Number 9. They. Number 10. They'll. Track 7. Number 1. They'll go through the dale all day. Number 2. I dare say that they'll see a doe there. Number 3. They're going to make bread from that dough there. Number 4. Though the doe runs fast, the bear will reach her den then. Number 5. They won't dare go past the den on the way to the dale. Number 6. That's the day they'll dare go there for the doe. Number 7. Though they'll go past the dale that day, they won't dare chase the doe then. Number 8. Then is the day when they dare to go to that dale there. Number 9. They'll go to the dale, then they'll return to their den. Number 10. They're going to take the dare to go there over the hill and dale. Track 8. Number 1. Low. Number 2. Lamp. Number 3. Loom. Number 4. Room. Number 5. Rim. Number 6. Limb. Number 7. Leaf. Number 8. Reef. Number 9. Low. Number 10. Row. Track 9. Number 1. I believe blue grass grows near the rim of the lake. Number 2. Put the lime brew in a glass from that row in the next room. Number 3. He didn't have a clue why the crew rowed the raft onto the reef. Number 4. When we lit the lamp, the glow grew in the gloomy room. Number 5. That lace is as rare as the rug woven on that loom. Number 6. Mary laughed when her lamb ate a leaf from a rice plant. Number 7. A ray of light fell brightly on the road to the lake. Number 8. Larry rode a race to the lake with a load of loot. Number 9. The crew played cards while the priest prayed. Number 10. The ram ran up the right ramp to reach his lair. Track 10. Number 1. Phase. Number 2. Lice. Number 3. Mace. Number 4. Rice. Number 5. Zip. Number 6. Lies. Number 7. Rise. Number 8. Loose. Number 9. Zoo. Number 10. Z. Track 11. Number 1. She was too lazy to rise up and wash her face. Number 2. He said that this laziness was only a phase she was going through. Number 3. Susie wore a loose, lacy robe that zipped up the side. Number 4. Because Sam told lies, he will be sued and lose his race. Number 5. He raised his mace, ate his roast, and sipped rice wine. Number 6. Sam said the zoo was a maze that he was lost in. Number 7. Sioux City Sue said Z, but Zach said Z. Number 8. Sombat said, when you soak rice in water, it rises. Number 9. After his visit to the zoo, he was infested with lice. Number 10. If someone tells lies about you, raise your mace and sue. Track 12. Number 1. Thigh. Number 2. Trill. Number 3. Team. Number 4. Through. Number 5. Thrash. Number 6. Theme. Number 7. Tie. Number 8. Thrill. Number 9. True. Number 10. Tug. Track 13. Number 1. The players on that team have taut thighs. Number 2. He taught his students to thrill at a theme with a true thought. Number 3. The thug tied his victim to a tree and thrashed him. Number 4. The team picked up the trash between the trees and threw it in the trash receptacle. Number 5. He thought there were 3 trees, and it was true. Number 6. Through the trees he heard the trill of the turtle dove. Number 7. The thug tugged on the taut rope, but the team pulled him between the trees. Number 8. She forgot and threw the ticket away in the trash. Number 9. The team thrilled to the trill of the trombone as it played the theme. Number 10. The tugboat sailed through the gate and caught the thug. Track 14. Number 1. Veil. Number 2. Whale. Number 3. Weird. Number 4. Vest. Number 5. Wishes. Number 6. Vent. Number 7. Went. Number 8. Veered. Number 9. West. Number 10. Vicious. Track 15. Number 1. Victor veered west and went into the vale. Number 2. We heard a weird wail, a very vile sound. Number 3. While we watched the whale, it gave vent to a spout of water that made us wet. Number 4. Veronica wore a wide vest with varied colours. Number 5. The vicious vet vied with vim and vigour and was victorious. Number 6. Why did the fairy give us a variety of wishes on a whim? Number 7. A variety of merchandise was available to view, and it was all very valuable. Number 8. Violence is very often vicious and very seldom virtuous. Number 9. The stems of the violets were too short to fit in the vase. Number 10. We heard a vast variety of words beginning with the letter V followed by a vowel. Track 16. Number 1. Chair. Number 2. Shoe. Number 3. Day. Number 4. Blue. Number 5. Grass. Number 6. Laugh. Number 7. Rice. Number 8. Say. Number 9. True. Number 10. Word. Number 11. Able. Number 12. Baker. Number 13. Candle. Number 14. Distant. Number 15. Eagle. Number 16. Fortune. Number 17. Going. Number 18. Happy. Number 19. Idly. Number 20. Jiggle. Number 21. Calendar. Number 22. Library. Number 23. Manager. Number 24. National. Number 25. Operator. Number 26, personal. Number 27, quality. Number 28, referral. Number 29, statistics. Number 30, telephone. Track 17, number 1, management. Number 2, responsible. Number 3, report. Number 4, delay. Number 5, expenses. Number 6, outcome. Number 7, franchise. Number 8, internet. Number 9, website. Number 10, employer. Number 11, discussion. Number 12, salary. Number 13, construction. Number 14, factory. Number 15, substitute. Number 16, reciprocal. Number 17, manifest. 18, cargo. 19, shipment. 20, vehicle. Track 18, number 1. I am making a great deal of progress on that assignment. Number 2. If he succeeds, he will progress to the next highest level. Number 3. The union workers voted to protest the changed work schedule. Number 4. The company filed a protest with the provincial government about the new regulation. Number 5. The human resources manager will make a record of your work history. Number 6. I will ask the laboratory to record the results of their experiments. Number 7. Since the parts were defective, we will ask the supplier for a refund. Number 8. We have no alternative but to refund the customer for the defective product. Number 9. In order to produce such a product, we will need a permit. Number 10. The company cannot permit its employees to set their own work schedules. Track 19. Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet, Chrysler, Ford, and Lincoln. In the beginning, the company made only a single product. When the company was started, it made only a single product. Was he promoted? Did you finish your report? Can you answer these questions? May I show you how it works? Who wrote that report? What was the result of that experiment? When did the price increase? Where was the meeting scheduled for? Why did he resign his position? How did the manager find out? How many customers responded to the survey? How often did he come in late? How tall was that stack? Track 20. The focus group consisted of 16 women between the ages of 34 and 49. All were given 2 cups of strawberry guava drink. Cup A contained Lion brand drink, and Cup B contained Hibiscus brand. They were also given a cup of water flavored with mint. The women were instructed to drink Cup A first, then to drink the mint-flavored water to kill the aftertaste, and then drink Cup B. They were then asked which drink they preferred. 12 of the 16 women preferred Cup A. 2 preferred Cup B, and 2 said they could not tell the difference. Track 21. Safety must be our number one concern in the operation of the quarry. During the initial drilling of the holes for the insertion of the explosive, workers must wear safety goggles to prevent any stone chips from damaging their eyes. Only those workers with proper certification are allowed to place the explosives in the holes and prepare the fuses. Once the explosives and fuses are in place, all personnel must evacuate the area before the fuses are lit and must remain out of the area until 15 minutes after the blasts.
การอัดเสียงได้จบลงเพียงแค่นี้ต่อไปท่านผู้อ่านศึกษาในส่วนของการเขียนต่อไปขอให้ท่านผู้อ่านประสบความสำเร็จและเจริญรุ่งเรืองในการสอบและอาชีพการงานด้วยความปรารถนาดีจากผมอาจารย์ดร.ธนพล
Good luck, boys and girls. It's easy.